one more thing that anger does to your brain is it reduces serotonin. Serotonin, effectively, the short version, this is a happy hormone. It helps your brain just be okay. If you have serotonin, you're just like, you're vibing, you're feeling all right. Without serotonin in place, and this gets degraded by sustained anger, anger gets back to anger faster. Your fuse is effectively shorter. Here's a crazy one. You feel more pain. Serotonin prevents you from feeling pain and reduces pain in some ways. So without that, you feel more pain. And if you were like, that probably would make me angrier, bingo, you're following along well. Obviously, there's an accompanying increase in aggressive behavior. And surprise, surprise, to literally no one who's had this, it contributes to depression.
Welcome back to the Zero Dot Podcast. This is where we go when our resources are low and we need a little bit of a recharge. I'm here with my buddy John and Daniel. Guys, how we doing? We're in a new year. It's exciting.
Happy 2026 to everyone. Welcome to the new one. We're going to try and make it a little more fun than the last one, which honestly shouldn't be the hardest thing. I notice we're all wearing black today.
Yes.
But maybe we're grieving 2025, and that's like the new thing we do. Instead of being like happy for the new one, we're like, oh man, I missed 2025. No one said that. I'm the first person to say it. Congrats to me. I'll probably be the last as well.
Yeah, the first and the last person to say that they miss 2025.
What a moment.
Other than that, doing pretty good. Feeling pretty nice today. Feeling pretty nice and
nice.
Sweet.
It's been a week.
Thank you. It has been a week. Before we get into how it's been a week, how are you, Sam?
Yeah.
Think you'd get away with not telling us how you feel?
Yeah.
I am feeling good. My heart is whole.
Lovely.
It's excited that I can talk to people about the Zero Dot and be like, hey, here's a thing I made with two of my best buds. You should check it out.
Yeah.
I like explaining it to people. I'm in pretty decent good health. I got my got a ton of blood work done recently, and everything was looking good, and that's always good news.
Good with the blood.
Good with the blood.
Mm.
And despite all the things that are happening in life, 2025 and 2026 onwards, I'm feeling pretty optimistic.
Nice. I'm glad.
I'm glad to hear that. Those of us who are me had in late December, and we did it once again. Big fan of the people I work for, but they did their here's the insurance plans for this year with like 2 days to spare. It was a very last minute thing, and it's always fun to estimate your health for the next year and be like, well, I'm pretty fucked up, so I need to go get my shit fixed. But also, it feels good to have like a fresh opportunity to get your shit fixed. I do think there's some like New Year's like resolution hype stuff we could talk about at some point. But it is nice to be like reminded of like I probably should get a local doctor since I moved a year ago and didn't do it. I paid for dental. I should use it.
All right. So it's been a week / New Year / whatever. Everything's going fine, and I think that's the episode, right? There's nothing else for us to talk about.
It's literally, I just wanted to ask how you were. And then I really need to go.
Yeah.
Sorry, everyone.
Well, we had some feedback that our show was bad. So what we're doing is trying to accommodate to that and just like get rid of the show. Yeah. We're still going to meet up and ask each other a very few questions and just like show up for a hot second, slap on some headphones, But like if people, it's fine. Like we don't have to do it. No biggie.
We should make a podcast that is for people who want to say they listen to a podcast, but don't want to listen to a podcast. And it's just me just going through a script going, you are listening to a podcast. At the water cooler today, you can tell them you learned about frogs. I'm not going to tell you about frogs, but right now you're listening to my voice say to you that you've learned something about frogs. And it's just that for 2 hours straight.
Two things. One, I would listen to this unironically.
For sure, I would listen.
Absolutely. Two of all, if you've seen Severance, there's the part when there's like the positive session. They're like, "You're outie. Where's sandals?" And like that had a very similar energy. That I was just
100%.
a little scared of, But also, I would listen to that. I would subscribe immediately. The name of that podcast would be Podcast, a Real Podcast. Well, yeah, new year, new me. No, it's kind of the same me. You know, I like the one that I had before.
Yeah, I'm sticking with this model. I'm pretty much the same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a fancier model out there, but this one's, we're reliable. We're trucking. We're doing okay. When we were at Epcot in Orlando, Florida, there was a guy that greeted everyone, and he had a funny spiel. He's like, "Hey there, you probably made some New Year's resolutions, and chances are you didn't do any of them. I'm going to remind you that today's probably not the day to try to do them. Enjoy yourself, indulge, have fun."
I like
"All
that.
right, respect,
Pretty straightforward.
respect."
I feel like they need that guy at all places of vice. You go to a casino, they're like, fuck it, you're already here. You made a couple of, don't pull back now. Come on.
Oh, I see. You flip flop now. You were against the gambling. Now you.
No, here's the deal. I've been paid off by casinos to change my opinion, and as it turns out, I have incredibly low scruples when the money I'm given is significant. I got $10 to change my mind, so like fucking gamble your shit away.
It's a lot of cash.
Which is a great segue into our sponsor, Casino Kings.
Casino Kings, give us your money, idiot. I'm sorry if you're Casino Kings. First off, you're a corporation. I don't talk to you. Get out of my face. And if you're an AI made by Casino Kings, that's the scariest thing I've ever heard of in my life. So please don't exist. Thanks, dog. Appreciate that.
I think I've alluded to this story, but one of the engagements I did do, and I'll never do it for this company or any other company that does it, was for a sports gambling company. And the course that I taught was coaching people. And let me tell you, folks, it thudded with them. They're like, "You have to coach people? What?" They did not resonate with anything we talked about for 4 hours about coaching people and recognizing like how to coach people, how to coach them for success, how to coach them for improvement. You know, what are the ways you do that? They were like, "What?" They hated it. They were like, "This is stupid." I'm like, correlation, maybe. I don't know. Maybe.
Okay. I want to take this moment to pledge this to our viewer and listeners. I want to do sometime in the next 5 episodes an episode on body armor against this shit. We've touched on it on here and there, but I feel like having just an episode dedicated to like common practices and things to lure people in it's good information. And I just think it's super duper important. The thing that Sam is talking about right now about how certain entities are less responsive to very human flavored material is significant, and it is worth knowing that you are going up against that, and they will advertise it. I read somewhere this quote that was just like, if a casino is nice to you, they think you're stupid. And I just was like, that's kind of true, because if they see you winning, they will literally just tell you to leave. That's like a real thing. You can find videos of it if you want. So
yeah.
Oh man, I'm gonna lose those $10 now.
Oh yeah, you've smack talked them now. That's yoink. Take that money back. Sorry, John.
Okay, we didn't want their money anyway.
Yeah.
No, it's not good.
Yeah, I want nothing to do with that. I do want everything to do with some good news, happy news. Like, give me something to feel good about, please, to start the year off right.
Yeah,
I'd love that.
Song about that, I think.
I think something happened.
There is some good news.
Fantastic.
We talked. Yeah, I know. I scoured.
That's exactly what I asked for.
Universally bad, and then one good thing happened. That's a lie. There was a few. One of the things that I did want to talk about a little bit is one that made me feel happy because I didn't expect it to be true. I am a few things, and one of those things is I try very hard to be an environmentalist in that I want the world to exist. I've gotten used to it. I don't know. I like a tree sometimes. Have you guys ever like seen a cloud and been like, nice? Like it just, I'm sticking around. It's fun. We're having a good time. Well, I would talk about the ozone layer. For those of you who don't know about the ozone layer, I'm sorry, I'm the one to teach you about it. I'm not really qualified to do this, but effectively what I would talk about it is planetary sunscreen. Effectively, it helps us not all burn to death. So pretty good. Turns out, once again, humans really just cool little buddies, just kind of trekking along, doing a thing, inventing a thing, making a giant industry or two, not regulating stuff. And also cows be farting, which is relevant to this. If you don't know what that means, look it up. I'm not going to explain it. But the point being, ozone layer had a hole in it. And if you were like, that's probably great, you didn't listen to the other part about the sunscreen. If you ever don't believe this, don't put sunscreen on one part of your body. I'm going to tell you a story right now. I do a tangent. Perhaps you've noticed that, dear long-term viewer or listener. I went to this wonderful thing in Minneapolis. It was like an outdoor concert, very like spirit of summer. It was like super, super fun, very positive event. And for those of you who haven't seen me before, I have long hair. When you have long hair, you wear a headband, and that keeps your hair out of your eyes. It's a vibe. It's a look. It's convenient. It's great, and it blocks the fucking sun. So what happened was I had a really sweet headband tan like this, and my job was unbearable for a week because I talk to people and they look at me the whole time. Well, they're allowed to look away now that they've asked for their rights back or something. But I kind of wish they wouldn't because it was just people were like, what is going on with your face? So like that was my personal ozone layer story is like, it just, this was all burned and this was fine. This is the ozone layer. So the point being, and the actual point of the story that I should be trying to get to much more swiftly than this, but if you know me, you know that I never will, is the hole in the ozone layer is closing faster than anticipated this year and in general. The damage that was done, and children of the 90s remember hearing about this and how terrible it was. And this is a conditional, this is an if, but if things stay on the same track rate that they are right now, the World Meteorological Organization estimates that the ban on certain carbon emission stuff will enable a recovery of the ozone layer over the Antarctic, where it is to the thinnest, to the 1980s levels by 2066. Like, we're going to unfuck the planet on this one. This is one that was kind of like a GG, you lose one. And then it stopped. There were some very significant changes that were made regarding pollution, and it has made a demonstrable difference. It is working. For the record, this was, and like, I don't mean to get all conspiratorial, but this was one of the earliest predicted, we lose as humans events. Like, this was quite significant.
Yes.
It feels insane that global warming would be a topic where people are like, I have an opinion about that. Cause you can, it's fine. But it's also just science. Anyway, that is really relevant to this. And there's good news on that. If you're a person living in Arizona and you're like, it's summer and it's nighttime and it's 104 degrees and I don't really like that. Good news. This is part of the healing there. So yay for people doing that. And if you in any way can ever support this, get a hold of your politicians who are regulating environmental stuff, support these things, plug it, because it's working. One of the reasons I wanted to share this story is because it's one of those lovely incidents where proof of people banding together to make a societal or global, in this case, literally global change is happening.
Yes.
I did not know this was getting better. I was under the assumption that this was still sort of a doomish thing until I looked this up. This is really good news.
Yeah, that is really good news.
Phenomenal news. So yeah,
Yeah.
it's less of a cute one, more of just an overtly, aggressively good one this time. And I'm happy about it.
Love to see it. Love to hear it.
John, Daniel, my job oftentimes is I have to be as neutral as I possibly can to elicit good, thoughtful conversation. One of the topics I have a real hard time being neutral on has always been environmental issues. Like when people say they don't believe in global warming, I'm like, you don't believe in reality? You don't believe in what's happening? I get real tongue-tied on that.
Yeah, we have one planet. It's pretty special. It's pretty great. Please do your best for it. It's the only place that we have to live. And if you're one of those billionaires who's like, it's fine. If this one goes to shit, we'll go to Mars. Please take yourself to Mars. I'd love that. If you specifically could go to Mars, I'll stay here. Thank you. Please don't mess this up so bad that I can't live here when you do go to Mars. Really.
Create a Blade Runner situation, but it's actually a utopia, not a dystopia. You want to go on an off-world colony? Yeah, go for that.
Yeah. I do not want to live on Mars. I am a big supporter of planet Earth, baby. I want to stay here, and I want to leave it better than I found it. And I think you should do the same.
Eval, everything you just said is very true and accurate, and I would also validate Sam's piece of being like, fucking what, when you get this feedback. But I do, just for 1 second, I do want to talk to that for a second, right? So I always try to make a point of saying, I genuinely don't want to shit on anybody. That's not true. There's some politicians that maybe I'll shit on at some point. But corporations, actually, are the main ones. But the point being, I think people are great, and I like people. If you're a person 100%. Who has, and you're like, no, global warming's not fucking real, first thing, thank you for hanging in here this long. That's actually amazing. I really do appreciate you. Sincerely. Not even
for real.
It's one of those things, and if this feels condescending, I apologize in advance. You know the information you're presented with, And if you get emotionally invested in information, it becomes harder to move your mind from it. There's this thing with tribalism where you'll be like, we think this in our group. And then you'll creep into some information. You're like, oh shit, the thing's not real. Ooh, what do I do? And now you have to go against something. So if you're a person who has any belief and you notice that like it causes you distress to have to keep defending that belief over and over again, this isn't me saying be a cultist given whatever you come across. This is me saying it's okay to let a thought come in and kick around a little bit. And if you feel like it's not, that means you don't actually hold your belief. That means you're clinging to it from an emotional defensiveness standpoint. And that's fucking scary. Like that impacts me. That's not me talking to you from like a holier than thou position. Like I get that. There's a silly example of this. I'm from Illinois natively, and Illinois and Wisconsin have like a thing. It's not like super friendly. There's a friendly version of it, and like a little bit like they call us fibs, which stands very cleverly for fucking Illinois bastards. Great job, Wisconsin. But I've had this terrible thing where I've realized all the people I've met from Wisconsin are amazing humans, and I like them. And my brain's like, no, fuck Wisconsin. They're the enemy. Like, no, they're awesome. I like most people from Wisconsin. My car shit out in Wisconsin once, and this dude came to like, he pulled up and he helps me, and it sucked. He was wearing all Green Bay Packers gear, and he like was like, "You need some help, buddy? Can I tow you?" And he took me to the place, and he gave me water. I was like, "Can I give you some money?" And he was like, "No, man, don't worry about it. Just helping out Fred." I was like, "Fuck you, man! Like, don't make me like you. Come on." So, where I'm going with all this, hopefully, humorous anecdote is if you find yourself having a strong clinging to an opinion and there's lots of distress around it, open yourself to new information if it's presented to you kindly. People who want other people to believe them, this could be a show unto itself, so I will be brief on it. But the worst thing you can do is try to convince somebody via data. I hate that that's true, but you're talking with humans. Humans are monkeys. You got to make us feel stuff. And the first thing you got to make us feel is safe and equal. If you're talking down to me, I'm going to tune everything you say right the fuck out. It's not going to work. So that's my honest, actual, real gratitude. If you don't buy the things we're saying, like I don't want to shit on you. If I have a reaction to something, I'm like, that's fucking crazy. Know that I might disagree with it, but I do want to see you as a person halfway through. And as a country, speaking for the Americans, fucking probably for more than the Americans, but on American behalf, like we got to get better at this in a hurry because we've been turned against each other, and that's fucking stupid.
That's very
We're
true.
a team.
That's very true. I will quote the great Aristotle. It is the mark of an educated mind to be able to entertain a thought without accepting it. I would encourage all people to do whatever they could to flex on that in whatever way they're capable.
And I would quote Socrates, hell yeah, brother. Cheers.
Yeah, brother. I think Bill and Ted confirmed it's pronounced Socrates.
That's true. That seems accurate. Mm-hmm. Hi, everyone. I want to talk about anger today. Mostly because I'm fucking sick of being angry, and I'm willing to bet you are as well. And if you're not, that's a weird take. If you're like, no, being angry is so fun.
I'm Raphael. I love being angry. Bringing it back to DMNT. Yeah.
Bruh. So, like, Eval, quick shout out to any sort of, like, media that presents a feature as a personality. I love when a character's like, the sleepy one. That's my thing. I'm tired. Well, you need to get better sleep, sir. Or they're like, I'm angry.
Big fan of the Seven Dwarfs.
Yeah.
Huge fan of the Seven Dwarfs.
Oh my God. Dopey every day wakes up and it's just like, yeah, no, another day of being the idiot of my friend group, sick. Also, we kidnapped a woman. That doesn't feel great, but we got these floppy hats. Anyway, much more relevantly, I do want to talk about anger because I think it's an incredibly misunderstood thing. So first things first, we're gonna do a little experiment. There's a thing where if you ask a group of people and you say, would you rather be angry or, and then you do any other emotion, there are very predictable results. You say angry or happy, people pick happy. That's a real easy one. If someone doesn't say that, that's genuinely not good. If you say, would you rather be angry or, and this is the big one, sad or angry or fearful, angry is dominating. This is especially pronounced in Western societies. And here's a couple of things about that. So anger is meant to be a very transitory state. You're not supposed to be angry for long. Anger should be fleeting because it has one job. A thing that I think is really neat. And by neat, I mean like low key, actually a little terrifying. I wrote some notes on this and I was kind of working through them. And this is like a little fucked up. So like humans these days, I don't know. And dear listener / viewer, feel free to like chime in on this. I was going to ask my boys here, how many fights have you been in physically where, you know, one of the combatants was severely injured in the past, I don't know, say 5 years?
5 years?
Yeah, 5 years.
I've been in 0. physical fights where that has occurred in the past 5 years.
Damn. Very well done.
In the past, my life, I have been in a big fat goose egg, 0 physically combatant fights where either one of us were injured.
I have not in the past 5 years, probably not in the past 10 years. I did throw a drunk guy in a ditch once because he was trying to hurt somebody. And I threw a kid on the ground once because he was trying to hurt me. But like, these are not stories that are recent, nor are they stories that are cool. And the reason that I want to talk about fighting and anger is because that is the mechanism that's going off, and it should not be pertinent to your life. Anger is built for combat or flight. It is a full-on weapons online system in humans, and you can see it in other animals, and it makes much more sense. So if you've ever like pet a dog and it goes, like you immediately are like, oh, I should immediately stop doing what I'm doing. This dog is going to hurt me. That is what anger does. It's built to protect things that keep us like from, like being hurt. Like if a person comes into your house when they're going to kill you and they're like, I'm going to kill you with this weapon. There's no escape but the one behind me. You have to fight me. Good. Get real angry. Fight them. Because some stuff happens when you get angry. And it's protective in that instance. So there's like this idea of like you're going to fight this home intruder to the death, right? Here's what your body does. I'm going to look at my notes so I don't accidentally lie to you. The first thing that happens is a bunch of changes happen without you even noticing. Fun, and by fun, I mean, once again, kind of scary fact, you will often be biologically angry before you know that you're angry. Sometimes you'll realize that you're angry, and you'll be like, damn, when did I get angry? And that's a really frustrating thing. For the record, good on you, healthy to recognize it, but it does kind of sneak up because what's happening is your body's going, hang on, danger mode, shift into combat mode. And combat mode, I don't feel like this take. My general take is in like an optimistic world, combat mode should be unnecessary in civilized society. We shouldn't need to fight other people to survive if we can all just communicate, which is a big thing. Come into that later. I know that it's a thing. Protect yourself, protect your family, all that good stuff. Don't invalidate that. But in general, if I have beef with either of my two friends on the show and we end up like fighting one another or screaming at one another, we failed. Like something went wrong. There should be other ways to navigate this. If you are having situations where your anger is physically protecting you from danger every day, you need to make some changes. And that's not in a condescending way. That is, your life is in danger all the time. I've known people who I worked with in the past who had this experience. They're like, I need that though. It keeps me alive. And I'm going to cut to the chase. This is like gang stuff. And it's like, you have to be on or else you're in danger. And no one that I've known in that life was like, this is so sweet forever. There was a level of like, I'm saying this is sweet because I don't know how to get out of it. So I'm rationalizing it in my head. That's a whole fucking other show. But the point being, anger changes your body. So here's some stuff. Anger is for killing. Anger is for combat. Anger is for, at the best, escape. Here's some stuff that it does. One, if you've ever been angry before, you will no doubt experience boom, 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 boom. Your heart picks up pace. And the reason it's doing that is to get blood to your extremities so that you can fight better. You can hit harder. You can run faster. You can do all of the combat things. And that's really great for the 2-minute fight you have with the monster in your house. You know what's really bad for? Arterial tension. Your veins and your arteries don't want this. This is like kicking your thing into overdrive. It's bad for your blood glucose. It's bad for your blood fatty acid level. Your immune system changes a little bit during it. It effectively, your body is a genius computer, and it will allocate things to other areas. So I'm going to actually move away from immune for 1 second. In the digestive system, your tummy stops digesting. It goes, we don't need to digest food right now. We need to kill that thing. We need to get away from that thing. We need to stop it from being a threat to our loved ones. Which is, once again, for the purposes of combat, amazing. But if you do the little bit stretching out and also getting ahead of me in the lore here, you'll realize that not digesting things on a regular basis probably has pretty bad effects on your gut biome. It can have straight up effects on your whole blood flow and obviously your metabolism. You're more susceptible to illness if you're angry all the time. You'll get sick more often if you're angry all the time because you're constantly in war mode. War mode is supposed to be really short. One of the ones that's really cool from like be an anime fight boy, but really disastrous over long periods of time is your pupils dilate. You ever seen a cat? And a cat's playing with you. And you're like, ding, 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 ding. Like you're seeing a little thing in front of it. And it's like, whoop, and the eyes get all huge. What it's doing is it's becoming a better hunter. It's dilating its pupils. So it can be like, oh, there's my prey. And it can track it better. Really great for tracking your prey or for fighting and looking out for being punched in the face. But also it creates intraocular pressure, which is a term I didn't know about. But the TLDR is it's going to give you worse vision and sustained damage. This correlates with headaches, migraines, I believe bone density. And this is like, This all will just happen passively. You're not like time for the eyes to become bigger, digestion halt, it's combat time. Like this is all just boom, instant. And this has become more weird of a problem over time. If at any point, by the way, Sam or Daniel, you want to jump in on this, feel free. I have so much shit to say about this. I've been burning to talk about this for quite a while. I've like before we ever decided to do this show, there's a person who I think a few of us may have known through a video game group we were all in, and I really wanted to give them this information. So, dear that person, if you know this is you, I love you, and I want you to feel this, and I want you to take care of yourself. So, that's not a call out. That's a place of love. So, there's some like I had like all this nerd shit I was gonna say about like hypothalamuses and pituitary glands. If you want that information, it exists. The long and short of it is things activate in sequence, and then they release cortisol, adrenaline, and noradrenaline, which your body can do cool shit with over short bursts.
Yeah, you keep saying this over and over again, John. I'm sure you're gonna get to it. Like, this is awesome in a very small space. It does its function within a small space. It is necessary. Obviously, it would be great if we never had to do this, but our bodies biomechanically can do it. Fantastic. Love it, love it, love it. I am sure there's no cost whatsoever, John, if you're in this sustained state for long periods of time beyond a few minutes. I'm sure, if you decide just to have this level of anxiety, dread, stress, fight or flight throughout the rest of your life, I'm sure you're going to live a great life.
Would that it were true, my friend. Would that it were true. For I have a couple more things I wanted to make sure to hit on really quick. So nerd shit, super fast. Cortisol lets calcium through membranes, gets into your brain, bad stuff happens. The things I wanted to hit on really importantly is your hippocampus and your prefrontal cortex. One thing that happens is it weakens your short-term memory. I am willing to bet 100% of people who hear or see this will have had this experience. You are in a fight, perhaps it's not like a physical fight, but like you're arguing with like, say, a loved one, and you know that they're fucking wrong. And they're like, well, then what do you think about this? And you go, fuck, I had a thing for this. I was about to, and it's gone. This is an effect of this. When you're angry, your body's not supposed to have arguments. It's supposed to kill that thing and run away. So all it can do is just be like, I have to hit you now, which for the record, we should just not be hitting things if we can help it. And also it makes you not be able to form memories. This is the chronic version of this. If you're angry all the time, your memory gets like just relatively worse. Like you can't keep track of things because you're seething. And also, if you want to keep using in my head like the Gundam-y terms, like it keeps a target lock on. So if during the show Sam was like, "Great show, everybody," John, your hat's stupid, I'd be like, I don't like that. And I would put over here in my brain a little bit of resources, a little bit of energy to remember, like, Sam is your enemy now. You need to keep cognizant of that. He could hurt you. Stay vigilant. Look out for him. That is really, really bad because I can't do this and also engage in my work. Go be fun with my nephew or niece. Go skateboard. I don't skateboard anyway. But like I can't do things because a little piece of my brain is like, hang on to that thing. You need to stay safe. And this is really, really tough. So one of the reasons that I wanted to do this topic on our show is because I was podcasting, not this version, I was listening. I do both. I swing both ways. And the topic was about a thing I agree with, which is that AI is getting real stupid real fast. And we had touched on that before, and we certainly will again. 2026, there's no way we're not talking about this more. It's about to get real dumb. But it made me angry because effectively, massive TLDR, corporation wants to use thing to advance its own agenda. It will come at the cost of people suffering. I don't like that. So my brain's like, go find the corporation, murder it. You can't do that. You can't do that. You can't just murder a corporation. It doesn't work. It's like a hydra. It grows new heads. We have to do, as per the thing I said earlier about the ozone layer, like it has to be systemic. Like we have to, as a team, be like, okay, no more of this. We're all changing. No one can be just like a hero and like knock this down. It's why vigilantism doesn't really work. Also because other many, many reasons. Okay, getting ahead of myself. So the last thing I want to say about the brain before I go on to the next part is the prefrontal cortex. Your prefrontal cortex is your thinky part of your brain, and anger fucks up your judgment. If you're ever, how many people, and if you're one of these people, I'm really sorry. I've been this person before. You are angry and you haul off on somebody. Either you shove them or you're like, fuck you, you're a piece of shit. I never fucking like you. You said some really harsh shit. You didn't do that because you were like, I've weighed the pros and cons. I've been thinking about what would best serve us as a community, and I've decided to tell you that you're dumb and I hate you. And that way we can all kind of advance from this as a team and feel a little better tomorrow. That will never happen. It is an immediate short-term thing, and what it's simulating is you engaging in combat with that thing. And if you're like, hell yeah, combat, it's because combat feels really good. Bear with me on that, right? The actual high of adrenaline is built to make you go "Wah!" for anger. Like it does feel very empowering for a short bit. Like I said earlier in the show, like people would rather be angry than sad because the initial anger feels really good. Isn't that fucked up? Like it feels very charging, very purpose driven. But that's like the main point of spoiler alert again. The anger we experience as human beings isn't short fire burst. Almost ever. It's delayed and sustained and endless, and it racks and it writhes. And this is another reason that we wanted to make this show, is because if you're a person who's hurting, we don't want you to just be like, well, I guess this is life. I guess I just sit here and seethe about things that I can't change. Because A of all, we want to make things change because things should change. And B of all, that will fuck you up, man. I've worked with a lot of people who have anger issues, which is that's kind of a lazy phrase. I don't like saying that. Just as a heads up, I don't like saying anger issues. That's trivializing things. But they so often are accompanied with health issues, gut stuff, migraines, back pain. Well, the other thing too, right, is like if you've ever been like activated, your body is like super tense, which is incredible for like throwing a punch or absorbing a punch, and incredibly bad for your posture. It's bad for your sleep. It's bad for affection.
Hi, I'm Sam from the Zero Dot Podcast. We can't do this without you. So we really appreciate you tuning in. Without you, we don't really have a mission in life. In fact, we're hopeless, we're driftless, we're aimless. If you could really just do me this big favor and subscribe and like and comment. And if you're watching it on YouTube, do the little bell. That'll be great too. Do all those things. You'll make me a much happier person, and we will do a better job serving you as a person as well. Bye.
And if you're irritated at the fellow caveman who is stealing your, I assume, meat from a brontosaurus you killed, I know that's not how time works. You can go kill that guy, kill that brontosaurus, kill whatever else. Whereas at this place, as a person, now I'm not going to name any specific internet service providers, but if there was one that rhymed with like bombast, boy, would I maybe have a significant beef to pick with them for reasons. And if you've ever yelled at a Conquest representative, which to my credit, I have not, but I have been quite terse. They're just like a person. They're just like trying to help. Like, I don't know what they're doing. Like they're just following a script. You can't kill it. You can't punch it. You can't, like, the anger serves no purpose. So what I would offer you is this big takeaway. It's the last of my, no, I lied. I have two more little quick anger facts. One more thing that anger does to your brain is it reduces serotonin. Serotonin, effectively, the short version, this is a happy hormone. It helps your brain just be okay. If you have serotonin, you're just like, you're vibing, you're feeling all right. Without serotonin in place, and this gets degraded by sustained anger, anger gets back to anger faster. Your fuse is effectively shorter. Here's a crazy one. You feel more pain. Serotonin prevents you from feeling pain and reduces pain in some ways. So without that, you feel more pain. And if you were like, that probably would make me angrier, bingo, you're following along well. Obviously, there's an accompanying increase in aggressive behavior. And surprise, surprise, to literally no one who's had this, it contributes to depression. There's a common phrase that I have not like issues with. I just think it's a little more nuanced than this. But like depression is anger turned inwards. It's you are the bad thing. You need to be angry at yourself. So the natural resolution per your biomechanics, and this is really stupid, is you should fight yourself. Dumb, overtly dumb, doesn't solve anything, just a stupid glitch. So what I'm getting at is anger is not your fault. It is a biological process from ye olden times built to resolve conflicts in a way that is inefficient and frankly very dangerous. So to feel angry, what I would also offer you is two things. Here at the ZD, we never introduce a topic without finding ways to help you feel better about it and making a difference. That's incredibly important to me. So I have both physical ways to talk about this and psychological ways to talk about this. But I start everything else with a teeny tiny bit of psychoeducation and validation as per the usual. Under your anger is another emotion. Long ago, a father figure and mentor to me, David Ventrelli. David Ventrelli, if you ever watch this, look at my stupid hair. How do you feel about that? He's not going to like it. He would hate that. I love David Ventrelli. He's a wonderful man and a brilliant psychologist. He looks like a psychologist. I don't. But he told me anger is literally always a secondary emotion. I've been trying to disprove that for years. If you think you can, write it in, because so far it has not happened. It is always standing in for a fear, for a sadness, for an anxiety. It's really hard to see it in the short term. So like I'm in the street Buddy pulls a knife on me. I'm like, oh, fuck this. We're about to fight. What I'm thinking is, I want to go home and see my family. We were going to eat tacos tonight. I don't want to do this. I don't want to die here. That's fear. If you feel anger at the drunk driver that hit your car, first of all, understandable. But the core one is a sadness. Dude, I had plans for this. I just bought this car. This car was going to last me forever, and now its value just tanked. Fuck, I can't afford a repair. Probably a little bit of fear as well. So some things to know, as we said before. If you express your emotions, they start to like even out a little bit. And this is actually a huge caveat. I didn't plan on this, but it's just so important to bring it up. Expressing anger, this is such a fucking important thing. Expressing anger in the form of doing rage doesn't like express it. It doesn't go away. It rehearses it. It psychs you up more and more. This is why, as a big giant nerd who's on the internet a lot, if you ever see like a salt channel, those are so fucking stupid. All you're doing is you're making a place to just psych yourself into a rage. Because what'll happen is you'll be like, this is fucking stupid. And people will either be like, yeah, and you'll be like, yeah. Or no one will answer you, and now you feel invalidated. The hope of those channels, the idea of those channels, which is understandable, but a little misinformed, is that you'll be like, I'm mad about this. And a person will go, oh, I understand that. That must be really hard. You know who talks like that on the internet? I don't know who talks like that on the internet. It doesn't really fucking happen. So the real thing you want to do, and I can't imagine any sort of Discord server doing this, is have a vulnerability channel where you're like, this shit's fucking hard, man. And someone helps you get to that core emotion. This is what friends and family are for, ideally. Perhaps even a very skilled dog. Also, another thing I didn't plan for, not AI. AI does not do this well at all. AI can help with very basic decision-making flowcharts. And perhaps the time that you watch this, it's like 2064 and AI has become just so incredibly amazing that we're all in a place. We're just like, podding it and just doing the matrix. AI is built to be sycophantic, and it will 100% tell you that you are right. They've pulled back on this a little because people keep talking about it, but it will psych you into a rage. Rage is not utilitarian. If you have rage, you need to either fight the thing that is making you have severe problems because your life is in actual immediate danger, or you need to help yourself de-escalate. Now, I've said 55,000 things, and Daniel and Sam have been very patient and kind listeners. They've also been humans for at least as long as I have, or nearly as long. And I'm curious if you guys have things that you think I'm missing, things that you wanted to emphasize, or things that you think you just disagree with.
Yeah. So, John, you brought up a question, a point about the utility of anger, utility of rage, and I guess this is more common than in the Americas and other places. But I am astounded the amount of people I run into, which is more than zero. It should always be zero, but apparently it's more than that, who actually know, no, Sam, don't take the rage away from me. I want this. This fuels me. This makes me a better person. I perform better with it. I need this. I literally was talking to someone at a very famous fighting game tournament. And they literally said to me, I need to be in my rage space or I won't do well. Leave me alone. And I was like, okay, man. All right. And I'm curious, John, like, we could just zoom out a bit. Like, everyone on this call knows there's problems with that. But I mean, like, how did we get here? How did that become a viable option that people could consider?
I unfortunately have a very specific answer for that, which is we have been incentivized to do so. Human beings are hard to manipulate via reason because we're not stupid. We're incredibly easy to manipulate emotionally because emotions are overpowering and they destroy logic. And if I want you to be outraged about a thing and spend money on my thing to make you to make me have money, it's by far the fastest way to get what I want from you, to show you that this thing is terrible, because you will be ready to fight. And since you can't fight by, punching it in the face, you can fight by giving your money, resources, time, vote, and whatever else to me and my cause. But also, if you are following along with that logic at home, what you probably noticed, and this is a thing that I really want to, this is one of those vulnerable moments for me where I want to make sure that people know that I'm not just talking to people who agree with me on things. This happens to everybody. This happens on all sides of the political spectrum. It happens on all age groups, generations. When anything in power is trying to get you angry about a cause, they are not incentivized to stop. They do not care if it hurts you. because to them, you are a number and a resource. And they will keep milking that as long as it serves them. And this is like a real common thing. You know what's really hard to do? Hurt shit with a face. People, humans with empathy, we're bad at hurting things with a face. It's why driving in cars and road rage is problematic. Cars don't have faces. Cars are anonymous. It's really easy to hate cars. It's really easy to be like, the person who's I hate this fucking idiot. Whereas if that person was talking to you, you will never have that severe of a response. And if you do, like genuinely, you need to seek medical help immediately because something is glitching, because your brain is perceiving things as threats. And we really need to help each other rehumanize this, which is totally doable. And if you're listening to this, congratulations, you've been recruited into my team. My team is people who want to be nice to each other. It's a really great team. There's no downsides. It's free. You can leave, I guess, but I'd be really disappointed. So please don't. And the way we do this isn't necessarily like a holier than thou. I almost said a spicy thing on accident. I'll say it. It isn't a holier than thou turn the other cheek thing. I'm not trying to like make a religious flavor into that. But it's not like being like, well, I'm not like, it's helping yourself be like, hey, this is getting away from us. Let's de-escalate because we can't do this while we're angry. And if anybody is incentivized to keep themselves angry, it is against your best interest. And I promise you that. Let me tell you a story. How my mouth is. This is a true story. I kind of don't want to tell you this story because I don't like who I am in the story, but it's true. Long ago, not that long, less than 10 years ago, I'm at a wedding with a partner that I'm dating and very into. And there's this guy at the wedding, and he has been said, and it's come to my ears via the grapevine, that he is going to make a move on the partner that I'm with at the wedding. And someone's like, oh, but John is with that person. And he goes, it doesn't matter. I'm going to do it anyway. And I can feel in my chest as I say that, I can feel my heart pick up. This is an old story. I'm not with that person anymore. It's completely fine. It doesn't matter. But my body's like, we're going to kill that guy. And I found him in the bathroom, and it was just me and him. And I walked up behind him. And I thought, this is a friend's wedding. Don't fucking do this. And I walked out of there. And here's the worst part of the story. I felt like a bitch. I didn't feel good. I shouldn't use the word bitch because of all the problems with that word. But like, I felt like he beat me. I felt like I lost. But if you tell that story in different universes where I slam his head into the sink, which I was very interested in doing, I'm catching a charge. I'm losing my license. He doesn't learn anything. I'm the villain. The person that I'm with thinks I'm a nut. Like, this is a disaster. You can't do anything with this. And you know, now that I'm years removed from that and ultimately very satisfied with the choice that I made, I can still feel that anger. It's so easy to tap into that. It's so easy to tap into that. And I'm going to play more of my cards face up here. Politicians do this shit all the time. They go, that thing that you love, it's in danger. And people are coming for it. And they're insert vague descriptor here. So you can be mad at these horrible people. That is in their interest, not yours. And this isn't me saying it's these politicians or those, it's everyone. Because everybody knows that inciting people into a rage is the fastest way to get them. We're so susceptible to this. As I talked before about like the body armor for navigating society, this is like the number one thing. If something is trying to make you angry, you need to be careful how you interact with it. And this is tough because there's a lot of things that I agree with. And they will make YouTube shorts for me. And I'll click on them and I'll watch them and I'll go, yeah, I agree with that. Fuck that thing. And then I'll go, I'm about to go to a kid's birthday party. Like, this is my niece's birthday party. I need to not fly off the handle and like, it doesn't serve. So as we've said many, many times before, and we'll continue to say, if you have action you can take, do it. But if the action is destructive, this is your old-timey caveman brain not knowing what to do because it can't get to the core emotion because it thinks it isn't safe. Anger is a valid emotion, but it's always a hat to another emotion. So now that I've answered Sam's question in the longest way I possibly could, I do want to say that the long and short of it is we've been coached to be angry because it is a rallying point, and then that has been turned against us because it is lucrative.
Yeah, and if I could just piggyback real quick, everyone on this call is a gamer, but I mean, this really hurts gamers because what gamers do, what we all do, is we give ourselves up to a system for play. But what John is saying is you kind of need to not do that sometimes, especially when games are designed to elicit emotional responses. Like modern gaming today, a majority of them, they're there to get money from you, get more money from you in whatever way they can, through skins, through DLC, through costumes, whatever. And hey, look, you do what you want with your money, right? But giving yourself up entirely to that arbitrary system, and not putting barriers up, or not putting guardrails, or even just simply saying, I'm not going to let you take that from me. I'm going to own my own happiness here and go and do it my own path. We're not just saying that. I'm not just saying it. I won't speak for John. I'm not just saying that just to be that guy saying you shouldn't do that. I'm saying you will lead a much happier, better life, and you won't be taken control of by a system that John already implied doesn't care about you. It just wants your money.
And if I'm being real, like super transcend all the problems, like chill about it, it's hard to fault a system for doing what's advantageous to it. I just want you to be informed. Like, I just want you to make your decisions based on what you believe. And I want to really reiterate and protect you with this knowledge. If your prefrontal cortex is impacted by anger, you are not making your decisions. If you make a purchase, or you hit somebody, or you quit something, or you whatever during a window of anger, that isn't you. That is the murdering animal that lives in your head that you don't need anymore. And if you trace this all the way back down the road, once again, anger only has the one setting, violence. Most of us don't get violent when we're angry these days, but there's a reason that we get so supercharged. To go, a little more vulnerable with you, I told you that story about that guy at that wedding. I'm still tense. It will fade. I've told this story many times now, but it takes a while to come back down. This is why political stuff has been so painful, and especially in the States over here, because there's no resolution to it. So, as per the ZD promise, I'm going to move to the part of how we fix this and how we help this, because it's really important to me to not to be like, you're fucked, because you're not. You're not. So, thing the first.
Everything's fine, probably. Probably.
And it will be if it's not. The first thing to do, this is a hard one, okay? So if you're like, this one's too hard, cool, stay tuned for the next one. This one gets better with time, you learn it better with time. It is really tough. It is tough. It is identifying and expressing the core emotion you have to a safe party that will receive it well. So I'm in an alleyway, walking around, having a great time. And this guy comes up to me with a knife, and he's like, hey, give me your money. And I'm like, I don't want to, man. I'm scared. Make me feel real bad. I don't want to lose my money. It's my resources. And I don't want to get stabbed. That would hurt me a lot. And he's like, yeah, no, that's the idea. Like, you should feel afraid of me. And that's what's now I'm going to hurt you if you don't. Very transparent for a robber, but he's what I would describe as a terrible steward of emotion. He doesn't care what happens to you. So what does matter is finding a person who does, who can receive the core emotion. I'll be beating this drum for the rest of my life on this show and off. It is so important to cultivate a network of different people who can receive core emotions, because perfectly good, wonderful emotional stewards will be unavailable due to things that are not their fault. If I go to Sam, who's a dear and close homie of mine, and I'm like, Sam, dude, I'm mad about some shit. I'm scared about some shit. Can I share it with you? And Sam just got in a car accident. It's not his fault that he can't hear me right then. It's not his fault. It's okay. Knowing Sam, he would try. But honestly, as his friend, I would rather not do that right then. I'd rather go to somebody else and give him time to tend to his own things. And that's okay. So the reason I tell you this is because if you go to somebody and you do this, you're like, all right, these fucking ZD guys, they know like two things. Let's see if they're right about some stuff. And it doesn't work. Oh my God, it feels terrible. It feels so terrible. You go back to anger, and now you're like, I tried to do the fucking healthy thing. It didn't fucking work. And like, that is a very bad feeling, because now the anger's everywhere and you can't escape it. So thing number, whatever we're on, I don't know how to count. It's F of all, D of all, M of all.
ADHD of all.
That's really good. That's a shirt. Put it on one. That's really good. I got to take a moment. Okay. That's really good. So if you can't share it with somebody and you can smell that coming, it is okay to withdraw that and just go do it to somebody else. It's okay to be like, you know what, man, I got to take this somewhere. I got to, whatever, it's fine. The other thing is you have to acknowledge that you're going to need a little bit of time to come out of combat mode. There's a cool scene in like movies and animes where like big robots are like, where like there's a huge bass sound and like the power turns off. We don't do that. We just stay jacked full of cortisol for a while. And things you can do to make this worse, in case you wanted to be super destructive to yourself, you can rehearse the thoughts. So the other day, someone made me mad by doing a stupid thing that wasn't actually a problem at all. It wasn't actually a problem at all, a teeny tiny bit. But I kept being like, that wasn't okay. I hated that. And I just kind of psyched myself into being frustrated for like 2 hours. And I'm a fucking therapist. I know better than that. But it's hard, right? Because my body feels rage. So letting that go and knowing that it takes a little time is okay. I'm going to move to the physical stuff because that's also very important. Before I do, I want to check with my homies, see if I missed anything, if they have thoughts, or if they think that I'm wrong.
I have thoughts about the cooldown effect.
Yeah.
Specifically, the hack that I try to provide people in this space is working on your sensitivity to the poison you feel after the rage has happened. As in,
Bars.
if you become sensitive to that, you won't want to be in this state anymore because you will literally feel the poison and the disruption happening to you. It does not feel good. You thought it had a little bit of a high in the beginning, but now it's like, I feel like I'm killing myself right now. And then that is a great motivator for a lot of people to be like, oh, no, I don't want this anymore. But you have to work on that sensitivity and understand that. One of the great bastions of this is actually my wife. She's incredibly sensitive to that. That's one of the reasons why she's so sweet and kind is I don't like being angry, Sam, she says all the time, because the moment I get angry, I can feel it and it's nasty and I feel sick and all these other things happen. And I've learned a lot from her as well in that capacity. So I'm always championing that element because there's that cooldown unless you give yourself that space of like a proper cooldown, which can take days sometimes. Like a true fight or flight, like someone breaks into your house and almost tries to kill you, 24 to 48 hours before you start feeling kind of normal again. But in the corporate world, you're in a fight or flight situation with your boss arguing over something stupid like your performance evaluation, and then you're just expected to go to the next meeting like everything's fine. It's insane.
I just want to say that was an absolutely incredible piece of input. Like I that's so smart. That's so smart. You need that time, and if you can flavor it not as I'm being weak and I'm losing this, but instead flavor it as, uh-oh, the switch tripped. We're flooding the room with poison. I gotta not do this. It's so much easier to turn it off, to do a little bit of vulnerable shit. The things that I worked on with my therapist in 2025, the year that's over now, and frankly 2024, is just like self-love. It's just like being like, John's my boy. I go to bat for him. He's a good dude and I believe in him and I care about him. And if you do that work, it's permanent. Like I can be real mad that I fucked some shit up. I'm never going to like tear myself down. I mean, I can't say never because I'm not a wizard, but like at the end of the day, I feel very strong against that now. So when someone is being shitty to me online and trying to make me feel bad about myself, I'm like, but that guy rules. I don't care. Like that's stupid. It's like if you tell me like Nick Cage movies aren't good, I'm like literally immune. Nick Cage movies are good and you're wrong. Sorry, doesn't matter. You deserve that. Everyone fucking deserves that. 2 reasons. 1, you should feel nice. Life is hard. You should feel nice. 2, I only want you to pick what happens with you. I want you to make informed decisions based on the shit you care about and the people you love and the causes you support. I don't want you to get rage baited. There's a reason. Was it Time Magazine picked rage bait as the word of the year? Or somebody did. And like
it was Oxford Dictionary.
Oxford Dictionary. Thank you. It's a tool being used to hurt people and frankly to harvest money. And if you see it for what it is, you can protect yourself from it because you're just like, oh, you're just a clickbaity little pooper. You're not anything that I care about. And it's scary and it's a little bit paradoxical because you will care about the material, but you will recognize the format in which it's being delivered to you is a trap. It is not earnest. It is to get you to do things that serve someone else. I don't want you to do that. I want you to live a gentler, better life than that. So my mouth had an opinion about how that was going to be phrased. I don't really know why, but we did that.
Yeah, I mean, it's this cheesy phrase of like loving yourself, but I mean, it's true, right? I mean, I don't know how anyone else gets this kind of experience, but like the relationships you build with other people, they mimic back the things that you're doing and you see it. And then sometimes they say it specifically, sometimes they kind of are, a little more sneaky about it, but like you see this like unwritten, unspoken language being communicated like, hey, you're something special, Sam. You're something special, John. You're something special, Daniel. You make this person's life better because you exist, you interact with them, you contribute to this. You're a part of this. And having that makes it really hard to get angry.
Yeah. Jesus fuck, man. You were hitting it out of the park today. This is I feel like I'm being a little casual with like a really serious phenomenon. So sorry about that. But the idea of an incel, if for somehow you haven't heard about that, it's a whole thing. But the gist of it is it's an involuntarily celibate person who can't have a partner and is very resentful and angry about that. It makes me sad because no one has to be that. Like, you are not so disprivileged that you can't have things. And if you are in a bad state and you can't have things, here's what you do is you work on yourself. You learn to love yourself. And I'm fucking living proof that this shit works, for the record. So I feel like a huge part of that is having a community, which is hard. And you notice the paradox there because you're smart, which is like, but I'm alone. How do I get a community? And then you work on yourself. And the things, they both kind of go up at once. It isn't fix one and then you have them. Like, it's invest here, see if it works, take care of yourself, see if it works, invest here. High tide raises all boats all over again. Because there's an, like Sam said it so perfectly, there's an insulation where like people can't hurt you because the things that you love are safe, including yourself. Also, like I have a huge beef. The beef is so big. This is the biggest beef I've ever had. We made it weak to love yourself for two reasons. One, weird Puritan bullshit. I'm not going to apologize for that one. That's fucking stupid. You should love yourself. There is no God that I can imagine that wouldn't want you to do that. Two of all, it is so you're easier to control. Hear me out on this. Stoicism, being a tough person that can go through things, kind of cool, very heroic, very action movie coded, also means you shouldn't need help. And if you don't have help, you don't have those resources. You don't have that insulation, and I can control you now. It is for my best to trick you into thinking that you are suffering nobly and that it's brave to feel terrible. But that's fucking stupid. Feeling terrible is bad. You shouldn't do it. Please don't clip that out of context because then I seem real dumb. But the point being, like, if someone is telling you, no, you should suffer valiantly, that's literally always a lie. If you suffer valiantly, you should be for like 2 minutes. In a sport, it's like 4th down in American football. Like, cool, work really hard, feel the pain, and then go like, chill, like take care of yourself.
I'm someone who's very, very sensitive to suffering of others, especially. I don't like seeing it. No one likes seeing it, right? But I mean, the amount of mental gymnastics we have been put to do to convince ourselves that the suffering is worth it, it's crazy. It's literally, if I could, I'd call it a war crime on the human brain. And I know it sounds extreme, but it is. But even if you let's pretend for a moment you enjoy it. There's a joy to the sweat, to the burn, we'll call it, whatever that is. Okay, fine. Let's say that's part of it. We know from the social sciences you're still performing worse than the person who's not doing that. So if you want to be the best version of yourself, the only reason you're doing it is because you really just love the torment. And if that's your thing, okay, man, like, cool. But like, you can be better. We can all be better.
Are you ready for the most nuanced and annoying take I've ever had? This is an annoying take. We're going to lose a viewer over this. And if it's you.
Exactly one viewer.
Carl, I'm sorry. I still
Carl,
respect you.
We love and respect you. Thanks for tuning in while you did.
Yeah, we do appreciate that. It was really nice. There are people who think they like suffering and they don't. Allow me to put my money where my mouth is. Because when Sam started talking about this, the first thing I thought is how much I love to squat heavy for me at this time. So, throw some plates on the bar, you go under, you squat, and you finish, and you feel like a fucking god. It feels amazing. I don't actually like the part when I'm squatting. That part fucking sucks. Mm-hmm. It hurts and it's shitty. I'm afraid I won't make it back up, and my knee feels weird and my foot feels weird. What I like is when I finish, because my body is a biological organism that goes, oh shit, this guy's under a lot of distress. Here you go. Whoop. And then it floods me with all these wonderful feelings. Guess what feelings don't come with your sustained anger? Those. And if you like suffering because it's like a kink thing, I got you again. You actually get really nice, pleasurable things from a very series of neural pathways that go, how peculiar to be in such a situation. This is not normal for me, and I think it's quite different and therefore arousing, which is great, and I love that for you. But what you actually like is feeling good. If you actually think you like pain and you like suffering, more suffering, because pain, pretty quick to the whole dopamine thing. If you think you like suffering, it is because you are depressed. Sorry to be that blunt about it. And diagnostically, I'm not saying that, but I am saying it as a phenomenon, because what's happening is you're angry at yourself, which is a misfire. Because what you really are because it's true. Sorry if this is tough, Carl. I miss you, bud. You're not actually angry at yourself. You're scared or you're sad. And there's a little piece of you, especially if you're like a dude who's been raised in bro cultures. I'm not fucking scared of shit. I'm not fucking whatever. Nah, that's dumb. Like, you've been coached to do that to make you better at things for short periods of time. And I bet you're fucking amazing at those things. Way to go with those things. Genuinely incredible. You don't do those things 24 hours a day. And when you're not doing those things, it's okay to be kinder to yourself. I know some people who go to pretty fucked up spaces when they're playing like really physical sports. I'm not going to try to tell them how to be a better athlete. I don't know. But I am going to tell you how to be a person that lives longer, who's happier in their relationships. And that is very much to develop a relationship with the people around you that allows for gentleness, and with yourself that allows for compassion. This shit is not fucking, I'm so frustrated with this. It's been labeled as weak or bad for so fucking long that it's so hard to go against it. But I'm telling you, you are gatekeeping your progress, and you're putting a cap on how good you can be if you don't do it. Speaking from clinical and personal experience and anecdotal experience. Hate is so powerful, and if you've been tracking along with our episode today, it only serves one purpose, which is to destroy things, which is great if you need to destroy things, but you probably don't. It's 2026. That's over now. It's been over for like thousands of years, but we keep telling ourselves we have to do it. So I would bring you the final piece of my spiel. And for the record, we might lose another subscriber on this one. I really hope we don't, because this is so pivotal. And the reason we would is because people who talk about this do such a bad job talking about it all the time. So I'm putting pressure on myself to do it in a good way.
John, I don't want you to lose track of thought, but I want to pause you just here for a second.
I'm ready.
The zero dot, what we do here is we talk about nuanced stuff.
Mm-hmm.
We could have taken another path where we gave you stupid, flashy, hot takes that were overly simplified and told you it was something that's going to change your life. And we actively don't do that. We tell you the truth. Sometimes the truth takes a while to talk about. There's deep understanding required in it. Sometimes it's messy. And sometimes the truth is this is just going to be a fucking hard thing. And you got to do it. So what John's talking about here, there's truth here, but like it's taken a bit of time for us to discuss it. But if you've been tuning in so far, thank you. But also just know we at Zero Dot are never going to sell you on a promise that's not real. We're always going to give you data. We're going to give you anecdotes. We'll give you case stories. We'll give you social sciences, all that stuff. And we'll invite you to tell us if we're wrong. And that's totally fine too. But we're not going to, for the sake of clickbait or anything else, try to sell you on something that's not real.
I do want to echo that. And it's not to be self-congratulatory. What I would say is, we're all pretty stable in our own lives, and there's not a ton of pressure for this to succeed from a financial gain standpoint. Hence, I'd rather offer you things that can really help you rather than things that will get you to click on shit. The thing that we've all founded this on, all three of us, is authenticity. If it's not going to be real, then it's stupid. So thank you for going along with our nuanced, difficult shit, because I'm telling you, from experience, professionally and personally, it is the thing that works. And to that end, here it goes. It is a tool, and it is, frankly, I always tell people this when I'm being a therapist, and I probably fuck it up and I say it's about 3 things, but this is one of those things when I say, if you only take like one thing from me, let it do this. And it's gratitude. See, I just lost that guy, one guy who's like, fuck gratitude. The reason people don't like this, and this is especially true, I believe, in the corporate world, speaking from a lot of experience with people who I've worked with who are like, I got fucking like brainwashed about this shit, don't like it. Gratitude, when it's done wrong, is ignoring feelings. Gratitude, it's like, well, just be glad you have a house, dude. Fucking be glad you have fucking regular. That's not gratitude. That's actually shame and a very neat hat. And by neat, I mean shit. Gratitude is genuine appreciation for the things that you like and that you're grateful for. And I am telling you, it is by far the fastest off-ramp from rage, because your brain is incapable of doing both simultaneously. You can't be in war mode while you feel safe. So this isn't gratitude, but it's an example of the idea. There's a little thing I teach people over in Therapy Town, which is and I'm sure someone will have beef with me doing this because of something about, anyway, you'll see. But like, if someone's really stressed out, you just take a piece of gum, start chewing gum. And here's why. If you've been playing along the whole show, perhaps you'll recall that I said earlier your digestion stops when you're in battle mode, because your body's like, no time for that. We have to only fight and kill things. So if you're chewing, your brain goes, wait a minute, are we out of battle mode? The last time that I was in battle mode, I definitely wasn't eating anything. I think maybe we're okay. Better yet, it becomes like a behavioral thing where your brain starts to associate a certain taste or experience with like a thing that's okay. I have mints in my car for this purpose because if I'm tasting that lovely freshness, my brain's like, you're fine, bro. You're probably just anxious. And it's really helpful. So this isn't me saying just like eat your problems away. That's the thing the person's going to complain about. But it is saying if you can jog your brain by doing a thing that's incompatible with the data, your brain is a computer and it will respond well. Back to the gratitude thing. A lot of things I'm grateful for. I don't know, this is like a weird thing to say. I think I'm like one of the luckiest people on earth. I have really great friends, like the 2 people in the show with me. I have the cutest dog. Sorry, all other dogs. I'm sure you're really great. My dog's incredibly cute. I really like the state that I live in. I'm so grateful for the friends that I have. Cheesecake exists. It's incredible. It's really good. If you are a person who can consume cheesecake, I highly encourage it. My football team is doing good this year. And as I just go into this, I can tell you that little bit of rage from that story I told earlier in the show, I can feel it going. That's a real fucking thing. You can do this. But to tie back to the thing Sam was pointing out earlier, you can't do this insincerely. And if you start doing it insincerely, cool, bail out, don't do it right now. Insincere gratitude is denial of your feelings. Insincere gratitude is a platitude. I wish that didn't rhyme so much. But like, if you don't actually feel good about the thing, what you're ending up doing is invalidating yourself. And it's okay if you can't get to that space at any given time. But I invite you, dear viewer / listener, if you can go to a place right now and just think of one person in your life who's been a fucking absolute star for you, think about that thing they did for you that was really nice. If you can like see in your body where you feel that, I get it right here. Get it right here a little bit. If you can think about like a time like a cute thing happened to you, I'm thinking about my dog and his big dumb face coming up carrying his pirate chicken, being like, I love that guy. You can think about like a thing that was really like just a warm moment, since it's very like holiday-y times, like recently been at like a Christmas market, had some hot cocoa, saw a person that I like very much, felt really nice. And as you tap into this, you will feel the anger leaving. Heads up, if you do this too soon while the anger's too hot before you do the step away thing, let it calm down, it won't work. Other quick couple of things. The gratitude one for me is my favorite because it's the most nuanced, and frankly, it is the most, in my opinion, the most overall powerful. But another one that's going to lose somebody because it's cheesy. It works. I only say shit that works. That's my promise to you. Is breathing. Because breathing is another one you can automatically control. That is a hard pivot out of fight.
That is the funniest one because the moment you hear someone say just breathe, you're like, shut up.
Right?
That's stupid.
Exactly.
But it does actually work.
No, it's such a hard fucking sell.
It's easy.
Such a hard
free.
sell.
It's free.
It's free. And it works so well. There's a whole thing with diaphragmatic breathing. There's a shortcut that I teach people. This is maybe our little electric meat cookbook move of the day. Check this out. Boop. Hand on tummy, hand on chest. Take a deep breath in. Feel your chest rise. What I want you to do for diaphragmatic breathing, I want you to, and it's okay if it moves a little bit. I want you to try to have your chest move less than your tummy. Go ahead and stick your tummy out when you breathe in. No one's looking. Nobody can see. That triggers a different response in your body because if you're breathing through here, you're not doing action breathing. You're not doing combat breathing. If you're running or fighting, you're breathing up here and it's very like battle coded. If you're breathing down here, you're okay.
And fun fact, if you decide to be a singer, that's exactly how you should be breathing, from your belly.
Yeah. Another fun fact, this is important that I don't conflate this with magic because it's not. What I was taught to do for this is to breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. There is no magical science behind this. What it does is it makes you breathe in a weird way to draw attention to the fact you're doing a thing. Because you're like, oh, I'm going to do like relax now. The trick is for some people, they're like, I'm doing a thing and therefore it's insincere and I'm still actually really angry. If you're one of those people, don't fucking do that. But it's really important to me to advocate this. If you watched this today, listen to this today, and you're like, I buy into all that shit 100%. And you go try to do it, it doesn't work. That's like, okay. That's like really okay. Because these things are very much skills. They're not an ability that you just have. They're a skill that you have to practice. And it's really hard because you're going against thousands and thousands of years of war mode. Shit, if you've ever had like a really hard part of your life where you had to like actually physically like fight for survival, you are playing straight uphill because your body's going, we are in danger. You can't do this. So you can always do the little check of, if I don't respond to this in the next 1 second, will I physically be killed? will someone I love be killed in the next like 60 seconds if I don't do something? If someone will, fucking action hero time, dude, strap it up, let's go. But if not, this is a glitch. And I applaud you for trying, and I applaud you for hearing me out on this. This is content that some people really don't like. I hated this shit. When I first had a person in my life professionally talk to me about this, I was like, this is fucking garbage. I'm just going to power through it. This is fucking stupid. It is not. I promise you. It works.
You are not a special person because you get angry.
Yeah.
You're a special person kind of in spite of it.
Yeah. Totally in spite of it. Everybody's strapped to that defense system. It doesn't, that's dumb. That's like having a lock on your door and thinking you have a mansion. Like, that's not how this works. Some safety is healthy and it's required, but you don't. Well, here, okay. I have one last rant. And this is like it's a really big rant. I'm going to keep it short, but like, there's this thing.
Listeners, how many times has John said he's going to keep this short?
Viewers, don't listen to them. In fact, I need you to spread propaganda immediately. Be angry at them. No, don't. Wait, the wrong message. There's this thing that I hate so much, and I think I actually do hate this. It's a brand. It's not like a specific brand like a Nike or something, but it's a style of marketing, and it's trying to get at someone's identity to make them feel seen. And it will make the person identify as an angry, grumpy person. There are people who can do this, and it's cute and fun. I know a guy who's just like, he's the grump of the group, and he's actually incredibly sweet and kind, but he's like faux grumpy, and it's really cute. It's really fun. Other people are like, I hate people. If you have a fucking shirt that says this or a poster that says this, I invite you to burn it now. I am begging you. Don't let this be part of your identity, because what you're doing is you're separating yourself off from the thing that will make you feel better. There's a fucking thing about me. I could say that better, but I'm not going to. Where I'll go on the internet and I'll look for shit for my gym. I have a home gym. I love that thing so much. I'm always buying crap to put in there that I don't need because it feels good. And sometimes I'll look for like gym banners, funny ones, silly ones, whatever. I have one of Arnold, big strong boy. That's cool. But I'll see one recurrently that says like, that's what I do. I know things, I hate people, and I lift heavy weight. And I'm just like, you're the dumbest fucking person on the planet. You're so goddamn stupid. Like, they're trying to get you to associate good things with being isolated and miserable. That's so dumb. My personality trait is that I take painful shits. That's the same thing. That's fucking stupid. Don't lock yourself into misery because you feel tough. That's so fucking stupid. And paradoxically, it's not tough. You know what's easy? Acting tough. You know what's hard? Being vulnerable. And if you think I'm wrong, fucking be vulnerable. No one ever beats that trump card, by the way. It's a little fun trick I used to do. But like, I guess that's my point, right? Is like, if you're a person who identifies as being angry as part of you, like, that's a warning sign. If it's like your role at work is like you're the angry one. And I also want to like let you know a little vulnerably. Once again, I've not always been the person that I am today that I like very much. I was in college. I was at a party. I was in choir. My friends were hanging out. And a woman in that choir said to me, like, John Merrick, I think you are the angriest man I've ever known. And at the time I was like, hell yeah. I went to like lift some weights. And I think what she was doing, whether she knew it or not, was like, here's a life vest. Put this on. You're going to die out there. I'm struck by some emotions as I say that, if I'm transparent with you. Because there's a version of my life, and we've talked about some of this story before, but like, I almost didn't do this path. I almost picked a different path where I never would have had this and I never would have expressed my shit. I know a lot of people on that path. It's fucking hard to leave. And if you're a person who's on that path right now and you're hearing this out and you're listening to it, fucking shout outs to you, friend. Seriously. It's so hard to give that up. It's a shield and you feel so fucking naked without it. But I'm telling you, in my entire career, I've never met a person who tried to be kinder to themselves and let go of anger who regretted it. Asterisk. There is an immediate regret. There's a whiplash. You go, whoa, whoa, whoa. Like you feel bad because you just let your shield down and now your mean therapist knows that you're a weak baby and they're going to take advantage of you. We won't. And if we do, would sue us into the ground because that's not a good therapist. It's a criminal.
It is really scary to break a promise with your past self. You made a promise that this is who you are now, and to go down a different path. That's scary. That hurts at first. But if you give yourself permission, which is what I say all the time, is fuck your plans. The plans you made was from an older, a younger version of you that was stupider than you are now. Give yourself permission to break away from that. I promise you won't regret it.
I feel like Sam is always good at this, but like every time you talk today, I'm just like, fuck yeah, dude. Like that's such a fucking truth. That's such a fucking truth. And I don't know. Hopefully we're approaching this from both an empowering and maybe a little bit of a playful angle. But like, I really want you to try this, dear person at home. Find a person who you think isn't a piece of shit, a person who cares about you in some degree, and like tell them a feeling that isn't anger. And if you want extra credit points that I can clearly give to you, say that you were angry about this, but you think the core feeling is this. It will change your life. I know that you can't like necessarily feel this, but like when I talked about that dude at that wedding earlier, I was like ready to fight. Like my body's like, all right, we'll find him. It's not too late. I don't feel it anymore. That's real. That's real. I hate that I can't like give you that experience subjectively because that's, magic. And I also, real quick rant, just like a 1 second rant. AI simulates this poorly. It was one fucking second. That was it. That was the whole rant.
I did that for the viewers. I broke some bread with the viewers for that one.
That's good. That's good. We're all making people. We're squashing our beefs.
Yeah, we're squashing our beefs.
But that is the big thing, right? Is like you got to take risks to grow. And Sam's piece about like going against your past self. Your past self was they were trying, but they might have been dumb. My past self was real dumb. So I would love for that guy. He had a bunch of stupid opinions because he was young. He didn't know better. True story. Quote, me, 16 years old, driving with my mom in the car. I said, dang, Mom, I feel good today. She was like, why? And I was like, well, I've been dating so-and-so for a few months now. I know what it's like to be in an adult relationship. And she was like, oh, John, no, you don't. And I like flew off the handle. So I was like, yes, I do. I did not. I was like so stupid. And that's okay. Like, that's okay. Back to the humans are cute reframe. Like, I was trying. We're all just trying. And if you try this and it sucks and you hate it, go ahead and like be calloused and unhappy and shit if you want to. But like, please try. Please. Viewers, do it for me. Listeners, do it for me too. I'm very selfish.
Do it for me.
Do it for Sam. I mean, fucking do it for yourself, honestly.
Yeah, do it for yourself. But if you're not there yet, do it for me.
Yeah. Believe in the us that believes in you.
In lieu of subscribing to our Patreon, do it for us. We're asking you to.
Yeah. Honestly? Yeah. Honestly, I would much rather you do that shit and leave a comment than give me money. I'm not even fucking kidding. Because you will make a much bigger dent in the world. You will affect your community almost immediately, I swear. And if you don't, okay, this is actually another caveat within a caveat. If you don't, it's okay to notice that your community might not be healthy. I've had people who I've worked with in the past who were like super brave and super awesome and did vulnerable shit. They're like, everybody's been fucking cruel to me. And they reached was like, I gotta quit doing this. I'm hanging out with people who are doing a lifestyle that is not good for me. And that's fucking scary in its own right.
Because everyone wants to feel like they belong. And identifying the fact that the thing of which you have adopted might not be where you belong is scary.
If you've made it this far, thank you for hanging out with us. I don't know if this is our most entertaining episode, but it's one that I feel extraordinarily passionate about. I have many times in my life wished that there was like a bottled this information to share with people who are in pain because people deserve to hear it.
Yeah.
So I hope that it helps. And if it doesn't, because you're like, but what about blank? Once again, like, please genuinely let us know. We might have answers.
Give us all your whatabouts. What about this? What about that? Let us know. We'll be happy to discuss them.
Brutalman. The time is nigh. I feel like, just to cap off this episode, because we can always come back to this topic if people have more things to say on it. Sam, just double checking with you before we start wrapping up. Is there anything that you desperately want to say this episode that cannot wait? No? John,
Patient man.
do you have another one of your patented quick 5-minute rants that you want to slip in?
For once, I actually feel like I've said everything I wanted to say on this topic. This is like hurt to talk about briefly for snippets because it is, in case you couldn't tell, incredibly important to me.
We've mentioned gratitude a lot during today's episode. And rather than do the thing that I said I wasn't going to do, I'm still not going to do it, which is the New Year's resolutions. What are you going to do? Looking back over 2025, I'd like each of you to give me 3 things, and I will join in on this as well. So this is to myself as well. 3 things that you are grateful for in the year of 2025, because it's been a year. And I would quite like to hear some of the silver linings of that year.
I, as a real quick aside, am cheating and very prepped for this assignment. Recently, a person that I care about very much was having a very low moment, and I was talking about this, and I gave them some examples, and it ended up being a very like gentle conversation with us of just like sitting with these things, and I realized I can do this literally indefinitely. So here's a few, hits from 2025. 1, I am grateful. I might get emotional. Here we go. I am grateful for the shared human resilience of the people I love. 2025 was a hard year, and all the people I came into it with are coming out the other side, some in different shapes, some in different arrangements, but I'm really glad that we as a group of people, I'm glad that we as a group here at the show have been able to kind of ride the wave together. I think the tides of change are coming, and you can feel it a little bit in a way you couldn't at the start of the year. That's really big. My personal one, perhaps the selfish one for me, is in June of 2025. I had not lifted a weight beyond like, a gallon of milk or something in 7 years. I've been lifting weights consistently since June 13th, and I can feel it in my body. I can feel it in the way that I move and look. And then also I have made so many great friends this year in just unexpected places. And it has been a really brilliant finish to a really stupid year. And I'm so grateful for the people I've met along the way. And also, bonus 4th one, I'm grateful to you, viewer, for watching this. That's not just a fucking line. It's clearly a line, but it's also true. Because as I've said before, for me, this isn't a financial goal. For me, this is I want the world to be better. And I truly believe that if people care about this shit together, we have a shot. The powers that don't want things to change, we outnumber them. There's way more of us. So thank you for caring, giving a shit, and trying.
That's lovely. What am I grateful for? So many things. In 2025, it was a pretty rough year in the sector that I work in, which closely is associated with DEI initiatives. In that year, it was asked of me and people in my industry to not use the word diversity anymore, not to use the word equality anymore, not to use inclusion anymore. And there was all these other things we weren't allowed to talk about. I am proud in saying to myself that I did not adhere to any of those creeds. I said, where I'm going to bring up those words, I'm going to talk about them. Yes, there's stuff happening in the American administration right now in the government, and we're going to talk about it because we can't keep avoiding this. And what are you going to do about it regardless where you are? So I'm proud that I stuck to that. I stuck to my values, even at the risk of my job. I said, I'm going to do it no matter what. You can fire me. That's okay. I am grateful that, reasonably speaking, I'm in very good health. That John talks about versions of himself that's like, holy crap, that guy, what the heck was that guy doing? There was a version of myself that didn't think he was going to live past 30 and lived like he was not going to live past 30 and was very self-destructive. I'm not that version now. I'm very much like, I want to be on this planet as long as I can, and I'm very grateful for all of that. And my third thing, I'm grateful for so many things, but making me choose 3, I'm grateful for you two. I'm grateful for you two taking a swing with me on this. I'm grateful that we started this. That's a pretty awesome thing. Pretty great way to fight back against the agenda TM. And I'm honored.
Likewise, man.
Likewise. Absolutely. I am grateful for being able to see more of my extended family this year. We've had a lot of family deaths, a lot of family just downturns in the family as of late. but something beautiful that came from that, and I wish it were due to better circumstances, is that I got to see people that I'd kind of lost touch with in my family. I'm a big family guy, and now the Family Guy theme is running through my head. I wish that wasn't a thing. I'm really big on family. I cherish my family so much, but it was always very much my immediate little circle of family. And as people have grown older and they've got their own lives to deal with, I've lost touch with a lot of my more extended family. And it's just been nice, regardless of the circumstances that brought everyone back together, to see those people again and to kind of make a promise to see them more and to keep in touch, and not just to see them when something tragic happens and the only time we see each other is when we're grieving or when we're, remembering what we've lost. Just to see people, to see them and to check up on them and to say hello and spend time with them. That's been really nice. And I hope that it continues this year. That'd be really nice. The second thing is similar to John. I started going to the gym this year. Last year, I should say. I started going to the gym. It's something that I used to have a very active job. I used to have a job where I was always on my feet. I was walking long distances. I was constantly picking things up, bending down. It kept me active, kept me healthy. And then I quit that job and I became very sedentary. I started just sitting around all day, not really doing anything. And I really, really noticed, I saw a photo of myself and I was just like, I don't know who that is. I don't recognize that guy. Because it was such a slow, gradual change, I didn't notice it. And then I saw that photograph and I thought, wow, time to do something. So I did. I did. And it's been really, really lovely. And a great side effect of that has also been, it's really, really helped my mental health so much. Incredibly.
Yeah, man.
It's been because I know that I'm going and doing something that I'm improving myself. I'm doing something for me to better myself. And it's been great for my self-confidence because I've gone to the gym and I've spoken to people, I've approached people and I've complimented them and they've complimented me. And we've chatted about routines and what brought them to working out. It's been so nice to interact with people on a more daily basis again. I'm notoriously not antisocial, but I'm not what you would call an extrovert, a people person. I am deep down. I just have a very, very tiny social battery. So it's been nice to use what little social battery I have to speak with people again. And the third and final thing before I drag on too long is I'm grateful for the opportunity to do this with you two, as Sam said. And I'm grateful to myself for taking the opportunity, for getting over the hump of imposter syndrome and getting over the hump of, I don't know, like what if it fails? What if I don't, what if something goes wrong? I'm so happy that I tried. I'm so happy that I took the chance. It helps that I trust you both very much, but I'm proud of myself for taking the chance, because there is, speaking of versions of ourselves, there's a version of me who would have instantly just been like, find an excuse to say that you can't. You're too busy, you've got too many things going on, or you don't really know if you're the right fit for it. You asked me to be a part of it because you think that I'm the right fit for it. And when it comes down to it, if I trust and value your opinions, I trust and value that I am the right person for this. Those are my three things.
I also had that moment. And I think that this is part of the ADHD anxiety experience, is you're like, I'm going to bail. And then I I know that for a fact. I was like, I'm not gonna bail on this. I'm going down with the ship if I gotta. Fuck it.
Both good eggs.
I know. Good tofu. Good
Oh, yeah, that's right.
good avocado.
Good avocados. There you go.
Good avocados.
They're both good avocados.
There
I'm
it
down
is.
with
Yeah,
that.
yeah. That's the one.
We got there.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
got there.
Perfectly ripe avocados.
Thanks once again for tuning in to us for the Zero Dot Podcast. Once again, it's been Sam, John, and Daniel. It's been an absolute pleasure talking with everyone here. And you know where to find us, the zerodotpodcast.com. We're on Blue Sky. We're on Instagram. We're on TikTok. We're on YouTube. We're on Spotify. We're on Amazon Music. We're almost everywhere. Till next time.
Goodbye, my friends.
Take care.